if I didn't know better, I would say that Chris Matthews is having a nervous breakdown. Seriously. If I don't know better, actually, he could very well be having a nervous breakdown. This, and we're watching it. Everybody's watching it happen in pub. Well, no, everybody isn't. Very few people are, actually, which could also be part of the problem. And he's out there saying that his bosses agree with him. Now, his primary boss, a guy named Phil Griffin, who actually runs PMSNBC, but it's owned by Comcast. Now, I'm told the Comcast CEO is a huge Obama-ite. I didn't know that, but I guess it all makes sense. Anyway, I always go back to the audio sound bites here. Susana Martinez, New Mexico. She had a great speech last night, and she was an unknown to millions of people before last night. And now she becomes a highly respected member of a Republican bench that stocked well for the future.
I was a Democrat for many years. So were my parents. Before I ran for district attorney, 2 Republicans invited my husband and me to lunch. And I knew a party switch was exactly what they wanted. So I told Chuck, we'll be polite, enjoy a free lunch, and then say goodbye. But we talked about issues. They never used the words Republican or Democrat, conservative or liberal. We talked about many issues, like welfare. Is it a way of life or a hand up? Talked about size of government. How much should it tax families and small businesses? And when we left that lunch, we got in the car, and I looked over at Chuck and said, I'll be damned, we're Republicans.
Yeah, I love that. That was really good. I'll be damned, Chuck, we're Republicans. Now, they may not have used the words Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, but you're talking conservatism when you're talking size of government. You're talking conservatism when you are talking about welfare. You are talking conservatism when you are talking about taxes, whether you use the word or not. Her point was, she really wasn't even persuaded. Her point was she'd been a Republican all along and didn't know it. She'd just grown up Democrat. He goes, talks these 2 Republicans for the first time with an open mind, finds out, hey, I agree with pretty much everything you guys are saying. That's why this show is dangerous, folks. That's exactly why this show is dangerous. And that's exactly why I am considered to be the most dangerous man in America. Here's more from Susana Martinez.
In many ways, Mitt Romney and I are very different. Different starts in life, different paths to leadership, different cultures. But we've each shared in the promise of America. And we share a core belief that the promise of America must be kept for the next generation. It is success, and success is the American dream. And that success is not something to be ashamed of or to demonize. There is one candidate in this election who will protect that dream. One leader who will fight hard to keep the promise of America for the next generation. And that's why we must stand up and make Mitt Romney the next president of the United States.
And so here you go again with another reference to the American dream in an indirect way, another defense of or explanation of success and how it's a good thing, what the promise of America is. And it's rooted in optimism. It's rooted in achievement. It's rooted in ambition, being the best you can be. It's rooted in your dreams and all of this. Now, while she was speaking, this is ABC's special coverage, the Republican convention. While Martinez was speaking, ABC aired a Univision host saying that the Republicans are going to lose the Hispanic vote. George Stephanopoulos talking with Univision news anchor Jorge Ramos, about Hispanic speakers at the convention. He said, look, all week long we expect to hear from Susana Martinez, from Rubio. Romney's economic message will be, hope he draws Hispanic voters in.
If they insist on talking about immigration, they're going to lose even more of the Hispanic vote. The last poll that I saw, they don't even get 30% of the Hispanic vote. If they can get 33%, 35 or 40%, they're going to lose the election. The new rule in American politics is that if you can get the Hispanic vote, you cannot get the White House. John, they really have to insist on economics, because if they insist on immigration, they're really going to lose the Hispanic vote.
So that's what ABC was airing while Susana Martinez was speaking. That's right. So if we don't open the borders, let anybody in, we don't have a chance. We don't stand for open borders. If we don't somehow change everything and let everybody know that to us the Hispanic vote is the illegal Hispanic vote. If we don't start pandering to that, we don't have a prayer. That's what this wizard of smarts here, Jorge Ramos of Univision, had to say. While his entire point is being blown out of the water by the Hispanic Republican governor of New Mexico, Susana Martinez. Politico has a story today written for the drive-bys. This is a story written for the media, so the media doesn't start jumping out of windows. And the message is that Obama is losing the Medicare issue, but that they have ads coming and not panic. The Politico has a story. No kaboom from Paul Ryan Medicare bomb. This story is about how, well, Democrats thought that Paul Ryan's Medicare proposal would shift the focus away from Romney, terrify the elderly, take places like Florida off the table. That's not happening. Not yet, anyway. But we here at the Politico aren't finished. They didn't write that. That's for the media who read this to understand. But it isn't working yet.